Well, hello, my fellow car milers. How are you doing today? I am going to start doing reaction videos. This is not my first one. The first one I did was with Billy Strange right there. And we did a reaction video to my very first video on my channel's birthday a couple weeks ago, 7 years. And I really like reaction videos. I love watching them on YouTube for all kinds of different subjects. And I've been wanting to do that. I've kind of finally figured out how to do them. I'm playing around here trying to figure out how I'm going to set things up if it all looks good and everything like that. But what I'd like to do at least once a month, well, because I only have once a month to do it, is at the beginning of the month, round 2 always drops a great video on what their upcoming releases are for the month. Here, I'm only going to just react to the section of their video that is for the model cars, nothing else. So I haven't looked at it yet. I don't know what they're really putting out. I got kind of an idea, but not really. So this is going to be a genuine reaction of what I see coming from them. Let's take a look. I'm going to pull up their video right now. We're going to start right there and we'll fire it off and let's see what they're bringing out.
We're going to jump in next and show you everything we've got for automotive.
All right.
So for the automotive stuff, a lot of kits to show you guys and some really exciting ones. First, we're going to start off with one that we know a lot of you guys have been waiting on. This is the altered wheelbase funny car 64 Olds F85. So this kit has not been out since 1969. What we did here was we actually tooled.
What did that say? I'm looking forward to seeing this because, all new chassis tool. This should be interesting. We'll see how they go with that. I'm not necessarily really into these style of cars. They were really popular in the 60s. It's cool they bring this stuff back. I know there's a lot of people that like it. You know, I did like their olds that they came out with a few years ago based off of this body style, the 64. I wonder if there's some stuff in this kit that you could kind of add to the other one.
So this kit has not been out since 1969.
That's cool.
What we did here was we actually tooled the altered wheelbase chassis for our Time Machine Chevelle kit earlier on. That chassis allowed us to bring back a lot of these altered wheelbase cars. So there's a lot of you guys saying, oh, maybe they're doing more altered wheelbase. Of course we were. This one, it's got the old mold that we used for the body, but everything that's within the chassis is all new. So the engine, all of those components underneath are all new. To be able to bring this back and build it better than ever, so it goes together very easy with all those new parts. Of course, we went with the retro style packaging here, that silent box art on the front of it, which really looks cool. We've remastered and expanded the decals to have some more stuff included in there. If you guys haven't built the Time Machine, there's a lot of stuff that was added to the chassis that's a lot nicer than before. So this is going to have rubber tires instead of the hard tires that the original release had. And it's even pre-lettered drag slicks on it. So again, very old school box art. You can see just a couple look at the little features that are included here on this funny car, and then a look at that parts tree so you can see all those different parts.
Okay, so it's basically got a retooled version of what the old chassis looked like. So they didn't really, I never got that Time Machine Chevelle or whatever he was talking about. I've had altered wheelbase AMT kits before, so I'm familiar with that chassis. It's actually pretty cool. It's kind of like the whole frame is like tubular. That's what's neat about it. But I'm kind of like, man, it's the roofless version of that body. It's not really my thing, but it's cool that they put this out. Looks like there's some cool potential for it. So there's probably a lot of you guys that are going to like that. So
parts and pieces to build this altered wheelbase. So again, really fun to bring this chassis out. We've also seen you guys cutting up bodies and fitting all kinds of things to this altered wheelbase chassis. So keep your eyes peeled. Maybe there's some.
Yeah, that gives you an opportunity there if you want to put a different body on and move the wheel wells around. I do that a lot. I might have to do a video on that. I've done that whole moving of the wheel wells before, actually with some of their earlier, well, before round 2, they were starting to put out about 20 years ago. They started repopping through Model King. Remember that? They were repopping a lot of the altered wheelbase cars, and I remember which I would love to see it come back out. They did the little early 60s Pontiac. I bought that kit because I took the altered wheelbase and I brought the wheel wells back, and I would like to build it as a stock wheelbase, probably like drag car or something with some kind of tub chassis or something. So it's actually a very easy thing to do. So, you know, that's something for a video for some other time there. Let's keep on going.
More altered wheelbase cars in the future. But sticking with the show cars,
okay,
race cars rather. We got the Mustang Hell Drivers Thrill Show car. So this is a kit. You can build it in one of 3 different ways. Great box art on this one, really throwback style box art on it. It's got an expanded decal sheet from the older AMT release that was done. Again, you can see some of these parts and pieces for being able to build this out. You got roll cage, rear wing, decals, a pro stock hood, or a stock.
Oh yeah, just if there's decals like that, I love that paint job. I dig these Mustang 2s. It's so cool it's coming back. I heard a rumbling about this, and there's a lot of talk on the internet and on the Facebook groups. A lot of people excited about this car coming back. This is going to be really cool. These Mustang 2 kits have been going at a really high premium. This is something that I really dig about round 2, is they watch the secondary market. When they see popular kits being sold for really big money, and they can re-release it, they do that to really knock that market down and give all of us a shot of getting these kits from years ago without having to pay $200 for them. And that's really a great thing that they do for our hobby. It's a big kudos to round 2 for doing that. And them coming out with this, they're always knocking us on our butts with this. Nobody expects it, and bam, we got a new Mustang 2 coming out. This is a really cool one. I wonder if it's based off of the AMT or the MPC. Let's continue on. Maybe when we see the parts.
Stock style hood, a Cleveland 351 V8. If you want to build it that way, you can do a stock V6 engine as well.
Oh, wow.
You can do drag slicks. There's all kinds of stuff included here. And then a remastered decal sheet. Again, you can see great looking striping package included. All the Hell Drivers decals there on the side. Ford decals. A lot of cool stuff that you can do with this decal sheet. And then a look there at the parts tree on the back. 131 parts in this kit, so a lot of
all right, I'm trying to see, and it looks like this is what I was curious about. I have some MPCs and I have some AMTs. I might have to pull them out and do a video on this to see the differences between the two. And I never can remember which one is which. I think the AMT is what this is based off, because what's great about this one, I'm pretty stoked about. You can see it has the separate back deck lid. And right here on the chrome tree, you see those are the chrome strips. There's like a channel on the bumpers, and those chrome strips fit into the channel, which is really cool. It's a neat little option. That way, you know, when you do the bumpers, paint them, you don't have to either use chrome paint or bare metal foil in the front bumper. So I've always preferred that version. Lucasy Products might have something very cool coming out for this kit. We'll be announcing that a little later.
Cool ways that you can build it up, and you see all the tires included also.
That's
even more race cars for you guys. We also have the Mo Power Plymouth Funny car. So this AMT kit, it features a 70s style drag car chassis that AMT used for several different things. This is the first one that we've really brought back. It's been a long time since this Mo Power's been out. This comes with pad printed drag slicks. Again, expanded the decal sheet compared to the original release. Vintage style packaging. Again, great box art. Of course, we got to bring it back with that. There's a look at that chassis. You can see the dragster style tube frame.
See that right there? That's a nice 70s funny car chassis. I'm not a big fan of this kit as far as like the body. It's kind of a weird body. It's not one of my favorite satellite bodies like the 73, 74, but I will get this kit because of this chassis. That is really cool.
Frame that's on it. Of course, the big Racemaster tires. You've got this Donovan Hemi engine that's on there. Zoomy exhaust headers. Again, a lot of cool stuff that you can do here. There's a look at the optional wing that's included.
Yeah.
And then that parts tree on the back that you can see all the pieces for that Mo Power Plymouth Funny car.
Not bad decal. Man, look at the parts on that. That is going to make such a cool early 70s funny car chassis. Yeah, I need that chassis. I got a couple ideas. I've been wanting to do that style of funny car for a long time. And I had bought years ago a Johan funny car, that Mustang, because I had that style of chassis in it. And I had a different body I wanted to use. And now that kit is so rare, I don't really want to use it for that now. I'd rather, if I build it, I'd rather build the Mustang. I'm going to have to get this. That's going to be a cool frame to have in stock.
And then lastly, for the race cars, we've got another Olds, the 65 Olds 88 modified stocker. Again, these
now here's something I want to talk to you guys about. Let's bring me up. This is a very, very cool kit. I really always liked those super stockers. I remember when they were rare as rare as rare. And I used to try to get a hold of a couple, and sometimes I'd buy buildups and stuff. They're very basic, but they were cool bodies. And you really could make a really cool 70s styles Saturday night short track car, whether it be dirt or asphalt. They had these huge tires, big open wheel wells. Again, very simplistic chassis, but there was a lot to work with. You really could build a cool looking model with it. And they seem to be really popular. 20 years ago, when Model King was starting to repop old ancient ANT stuff and MPC stuff, they were repopping those super stockers. And I remember picking up a few of them, and it's so cool that round two is bringing those back, because again, those are starting to go for big, and this is definitely one of the popular body styles. And again, it's at 65 olds, which quite honestly, I love the 64 olds that they put out in stock version hardtop. A couple years ago, I was building one of those. I'd like to get back on it. But what I really wanted it to be was a 65. And this is what happened to the 65, why we probably won't ever see it again. That's for another story.
Modified stocker kits have been doing well. I love the box art style on these modified stockers.
The old box
art. The bodies with the big cut arches and the wide wheels sticking out of them. Really cool looking here. This comes with pre-lettered racing tires on it. Again, with updated decal sheets on here.
I will be getting this.
And of course, as I mentioned, the vintage style packaging with that great looking box art. You can see here.
The one thing is, like, the old slicks that they were throwing, they throw in like drag stick slicks, a couple different sizes, and they didn't really look right for the cars. But I bet you, like, I know if you go over to Iceman Collections and some of the other 3D printers, they're starting to do like these really cool they have been doing some great Pro Street tires and stuff like that. You could get a set of some Mickey Thompson Pro Streets or something like that would go great as like nice dirt track tires to go on with these kits. Really make a nice looking model. I got one in the stash, and I might be getting this one. I got to build one day.
The rocker panel shields, that roll cage that comes in it, of course, the Olds engine in this release.
So old school. Look at that.
Wheels and tires, gutted interior, all of those parts and pieces. Yeah. There's just a look at some of the other modified stockers that are featured here on the box art, the 69 Ford Falcon and the 66.
Yeah, the Falcon. I have an old issue of that Falcon. I want to build that. I love that Falcon.
Chevy. And then there's a look at that parts tree on the back. So again, just another great variation for the whole release of modified.
Yeah, you see that right there. It's got that old with the molded in rear end. That's like probably the weakest point of these kits. But I tell you, like for this kit, I would pick up a AMT 71 Monte Carlo and take that frame and underpan from that and all the suspension and put it in this kit. And you can make a really, really cool race car model from this. Or, man, they look great sitting there using this chassis. Nothing wrong with that chassis at all. I'm not so hateful of the old style molded everything underneath. As long, which like this, I can live with the rear end being molded on, but it's when the exhaust is molded on. Thank goodness they don't have that. I can't stand it when exhaust molded on.
Stockers that we've done. Lastly, we've got a van for you guys, and this is before we go into the bigger trucks. This is the next release for our 1977 Ford. This is the Fantasy van, 3-in-1 custom stock or a delivery van. And what's really cool about this version of this release, of course, is those Fanta graphics. You've got the Wanta Fanta on the side. Really great box art that's on this. A lot of cool ways that you can kind of do these decals up and do these graphics up to make a really rad, groovy looking Fanta van.
Groovy.
You see there's some of the other features included, like the bucket seats, fender flares, 5-spoke mag wheels with Goodyear tires on it, and then different variations for porthole windows if you really want to get crazy with it. Again, that decal sheet, so you can see the couple different variations that you can do.
That's nuts.
For a Fanta van, or use the decal sheet on anything else you want to make Fanta. Then we've also got a look at that parts tree on the back. A lot of different parts and pieces included with this kit. And then lastly, for the automotive or the regular cars, we have the return of custom and competition, the Goodyear Polyglass GT tire pack. So 8 tires in here, so you can do 2 different kits with it. With the Goodyear lettering and the Polyglass GT lettering on it. So we did these several years ago Kind of discontinued them. A lot of you guys were asking for us to bring them back, so we brought them back as the Polyglass GT. Again, just kind of a look on the back there. Of course, got the AMT cat on the back of that package.
I love those tires. I could use a couple more sets of those. Those are nice for old muscle cars. I wish they were a little wider. That's the only thing. It'd be cool if they were a little wider. I love the looks of those tires. But boy, there's so many great tires they put out in the past. I hope this is a nice trend starting, that they're going to start bringing back a lot of those tire packages. I did this video years ago on their drag race, their old 70s style drag race Firestone 500 drag sets. And those are, I would love to see more of those come back. Those are really, really nice fronts and rears for drag cars.
So just a nice little decal set so you can customize some of your 125th model cars from us.
That's very
now
cool.
Jumping into the big rig stuff. The Peterbilt 359 is back, cross-country hauler. So
that's a popular one.
Like all of our big rigs, there's a lot of pieces in this. I think like 280 pieces in this kit. It's got a Cummins turbocharged diesel engine. You can build it with the sleeper cab or without the sleeper cab. It's a tilt cab in the front of it. It's got CB radio, twin antennas, pad printed tires, Firestone tires on it, new decal sheet, a lot of detailing in it. Again, vintage style packaging included on this one. You can see here that decal sheet and some of the striping packages and badging and little pieces that are included within that. And then a look at some of the options like that tilting hood, low profile air conditioner, the optional sleeper unit, again, 12-speed transmission, and yeah, 280 parts included.
Wow.
So there are those 280 parts and a lot to build. And that's just for building the cab. So what you're going to need is a trailer to go with it. And that's what we've got. The 40-foot trailer. This is the Sprite variation for it, for the Great Dane 40-foot. So this builds up to 19 inches long if you want to build a full-size big rig. Another great release for our Coca-Cola license, the Fanta van, the Sprite trailer. Again, you can see here those giant Sprite graphics that are included on the huge decal sheet.
Yeah, that's a great, these trailers, but I want to see the old race car hauler come back, the old race car trailer for these, so we can build some cool race, race rigs, going to the racetrack rigs, transporters. That would be a great repop. I don't know if they have the molds for those, but man, I think those would be a huge hit. I know that those kits go for huge money now, really huge money. Luckily back in the day, I got one, and maybe one day I've always wanted to build a nice race hauler. That would be a great trailer to have back for these. And
then a look at kind of the sliding axles that are included here.
Nice.
And then there is that decal sheet on the back, or the parts layout on the back rather, and the decal sheet is also shown here. That's everything we've got for model kits.
All right. Well, there you go with that. Let's get up back here. That is some cool stuff. What a great month this is. The big rigs, man, they are getting so popular and they're bringing them all back. Yeah, let's see that race hauler trailer come back. That would be really cool. I'm surprised they didn't. Or did they? Did they ever bring that back? I don't think so. That thing had so many cool pieces and parts, and really you could build a very cool diorama. But then again, I never built big rigs, and the trailers, I bought a few, have them tucked away and well of souls here. It's one of those things, is like, what the heck am I going to do with it when it's built? I mean, that's a problem I have to remedy, because I want to start building some big rigs. I love the idea of, I love big rig kits, and been wanting to build one, never have. And it's so cool that we have all these options again with them bringing them all back out, because there was quite a dry spell for many, many years. We didn't have a lot of big rig kits coming out for a while, and now they're popping them all back. So, well, that's it for this reaction video. Let's discuss down in the comment section there. Please tell me if you like this format, if you want me to do more. I am planning on bringing some of my friends on, like what I did with Billy Strange. I got a lot of buddy YouTubers that I love collabing with, and this is a great way of collabing with them. So I love the idea of inviting them onto my channel to do this with me. I plan on doing more. And I want to hear some suggestions. What other reaction videos would you like to see? I'm talking like if we were to like to react to any other YouTuber, it depends on what it's about. It's all positive. I'm not going to do a reaction video and slam anybody. That's not what this is about. This is all about really cool things for the hobby. You know, maybe we'll do some reaction videos to a few guys' videos on shows and take a look at the shows or whatever, anything like that. The only YouTuber that I'm going to slam on is me. like when I had Billy on, we had to look at my very first video and had to laugh at it. So this is all positive. This is all what's great for the hobby. I love Round 2. I love what they do. I have criticized them in a couple of things. I will speak my mind on stuff and like say things that I think maybe you could do better at, but it's never a slam on them. I really hate it when I really come up to their defense. I hate when people say they keep repopping old stuff. I mean, to me, that's just insanity, because look at these cool kits coming out. We're not going to see retooling of the Ford Mustang 2. It's never going to happen. I really, really doubt anybody's going to invest for a whole new tool. We're talking the cost of a house, okay, to make new tooling. It's not going to happen. I'd rather them do what they do and bring back all these great kits. We're modelers, man. We can make do. If it takes 2 or 3 kits to make it the way you want it to be, that's the fun of it. That's the total fun of it. So thanks a bunch, Round 2. This was a lot of fun. I love what they're putting out this month. I'm probably going to get a good portion of those kits that they announced. Definitely that Mustang 2. That's the winner. And here pretty soon, keep an eye out. I got a parts kit coming out for that Mustang 2. Maybe you might, down in the comments below, you tell me what you think I'm going to do with that. But we will see it. So I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. And you know what we say here is keep on gluing those fingers together and keep on cutting that styrene. And why do we keep buying all these great model car kits that keep coming out from Round 2 and all the others? Only one answer: because they're fun. Here's the producers.